So I had some more adjusting to do. And again, these are very common, very typical, from my own anecdotal experience of how many people I know who've been through this. And it turns out that I was angry. Denial was how I was surviving that initial time, but that also meant stuffing down some natural and understandable feelings. And I was kind of tough on my mom in some ways in those early couple of years. I was tough on my body. I remember I used to throw my legs around, and in hindsight, I realized there's this quality of kind of taking it out on my body. I went through some periods of depression, and after a while it gets kind of hard to know, well, what's really about the disability and what isn't. But I was also scapegoating my paralysis. Anything about my life that wasn't okay had to be the fault of not being able to walk. It was so easy to blame everything on the wheelchair. If I wasn't being as socially active, if I just wasn't having as much fun, or if I wasn't feeling just real good in myself, struggling with girls and dating, everything was the fault of the wheelchair. Until at some point, it struck me that, that thing about girls and dating, I was kind of struggling with that before my injury. Maybe everything isn't just about paralysis. So I really suddenly realized I've got to separate out what is about my disability and what's just about me and who I am as a person. And I was an 18-year-old kid. You think I had some development, some issues, to deal with? So at some point, and I can't identify when it was, people say, oh, Gary, so, at what day, did you discover this stuff? How long does it take for people to get to some given epiphany and understanding? Now, there's no way to identify that. It's an ongoing process. It's much more fluid and complex and iterative than that. So, but it was somewhere in the first couple of years that I had this moment of realizing, no, that's not good. Just stop blaming it for everything. Find out what's just about you. And I was realizing that I was gaining some things from paralysis.